Welcome back, everyone. Drake Hawkins with you again for some more Mountain Blade Warband in the Floris expanded mod. We have a little bit of a debt problem. The Warmaids owe 11,760 to Darim, so we gotta go find some bandits to beat up and tend to that right away here. Okay, first scout report here. This is interesting. They've started to group up under the banners of hero bandits, so to speak. So these guys are basically, they have entirely spawned armies from their particular type. This is forest bandits, so they'll be large. I think he had 100 dudes with him, and then he's got up to 4 of the settings that we've got. Default is 8, I've dropped it down to 4. But war bands that will, or bandit bands group really, that'll come and hang out with him and follow him around like they would, like a fief, a normal lord with his vassals sort of thing. A lot easier to take out because they are all literally pretty much all forest bandits unless they get some deserters or whatnot with them. So we're going to have a lot of this fighting to do. We've got a lot of forest bandits to mess around with this episode. I'll probably skip through most of the fights, but I want to give you a couple of them. This is a little bit of night action. I'm using this hill for cover. The forest bandits are fairly deadly with their bows. There we go. Get on the full charge going, and just as they come up over the hill, it really reduces the number of times you're going to get mashed up by... Bad miss. Times you're going to get mashed up by mass arrow volley from these guys. Not exactly a masterfully done fight there. Runs right into the group and does nothing. No fighting, no hitting, rather. But the cavalry ball of death is just as effective when it's ladies on the horseback as it is when it's dudes. We did have an H4 killed there. Unfortunate. So 27 wounded in a fight like that, it's just beautiful. The Warmaids really do a good job of knocking things out because of the numbers that have maces, and we have all our manhunters here as well. So we get 25 prisoners in a batch. That's worth a good chunk of change, and you'll see as we go. Bit of training to do for a few of our actual companion Warmaids, but we'll get to that. So each of these fights, it's going to be in our best interest to head back to some city somewhere to sell off our slaves, the prisoners that we've captured. Nope, not with him. Ah, there we go. Sadeh the slaver. That's 3250 dinar for that. I'm going to kind of give you an idea, tally up of how many we can get. There we go. We're going to end up spending most of it, I'm pretty sure, on just upgrading and... hiring new Warmaids and, or I guess, Sword Sisters, as they were. Find ourselves here. This is actually inside Suno. Now, Suno is a place of good interest to me right now because it's the only Swadian city at the moment. And if they get themselves in a situation where I could take a hit on and take out Suno, it might be a good way to get us started. So I'm going to come in here and talk to... oh, no, not talk to this guy about the Lord. Oh yeah, there we go. That's right. So we're going to scan through sort of things here that we could buy. We can basically buy or invest in an enterprise that has a slightly fluctuating profit margin every week. 300 and some dinar per week, 346 there. What else? Nope, you already checked the grapes, Drake. You already done that. There we go. 16 for olives, 252 for the iron. This is the tool and dye. Oop, didn't catch that. Silks and dye, sorry. 187. Wool, that one's worth 248, sorry. And then flax is worth 86. So I guess the 300-ish mark was the best we had there. But we're going to invest in those as we have the cash. Herbert Waymer here is going to offer us a job. Now, this is an interesting one. On the road, travelers on the road to Yenda were attacked by deserters. Unfortunately... telling us that that's where they were when they got attacked tells us nothing about where they are now on the map. So basically, he's giving us a quest to go hunt down these bandits, and they'll appear on the map with a blue name or number sequence on them, rather than the regular coloring. So we'll go ahead and take it. I was tempted to just ignore it because it's a terrible quest. It can be, if they don't happen to be immediately where you first walk, they can be heading off in absolutely any direction, and you're not going to catch them. Black Appaloosa Step Horse here is actually quite good. That Heavy Brown Runcie is also quite good. So I'm thinking our ladies are going to need to get mounted soon. They've still been running around on foot. In the previous version, before the crash and loss of the data server or the data save file, we had them all mounted. So I think this is going to be a nice improvement. Do I get that last one? There was another one down at the bottom there, I think. Come on, Drake. Come on. It's been weeks since I actually recorded these, and now I'm finally getting some time off on a weekend. I got canceled for a shift today, so I got time off to spend some time giving you some catch up on this series so I can get back rolling on it. It takes a lot more time to edit out a series than it does to actually regularly record just as we go through it. So, Manhunters over here. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for, but I can go talk to them. Oh no, the Manhunters don't actually... Manhunters don't give us information, but that Lord probably will. So if we talk to him, blah blah blah, Lord Delenard, interesting, yes, good. He wants to fight us either on the battlefield or in a tournament. Well, we'll get to that, Lord Delenard. We'll get to it. So we can ask him, I'm hunting a group of bandits of the following description, blah blah, do you know where they are? Nope, doesn't ring a bell. Thanks, good hunting. Really? You're useless to me. We'll talk to you later, Mr. Lord Delenard. So, we just finished hunting some deserters in near Rulan, heading by the forest here, kind of poking around, seeing what we can find. Heading back over maybe Praven area. Manhunters. And there it is. There's the thing we were looking for. Lucked out like crazy. That blue text indicates that they are for a quest. And yeah, we've got a bounty on him, so he's less than happy, and it's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're into a fight here. Now let's try to do this one a little bit more by the book. So these are forest bandits, of course. We're going to do a bit of maneuvering, get the archers and the infantry in place. Make sure the horse archers do their job as well. Takes a bit to shuffle them around, and they have a terrible pathing. They try to just kind of squeeze and run through each other. It's kind of awkward. There's our Warmaids all standing around on foot. We'll definitely want to continue to find quality horses for them. Oh yes, can't quick save during battle. I didn't mean to quick save. I meant to screenshot it. Me and the ladies chilling out. The Warmaids of Calradia. Oh, look at that. Look at the cinematics. It's time to stop while you're chasing your bandits for some good photo ops, you know? That's always important. Alright, let's roll them in. We got the whole crew ready. Yes. The Club of Death. If I could actually get into some hits, that would be nice. There's another one down. There's another one down. Go, Hannah, go! And, oh my gosh, that dude just... Did you see that? Slow motion, that one, Drake. Holy Moses. Rolled right over us. I should have gone back in slow motion. But oh my gosh, that was hilarious. You had to watch just right for it. Back it up if you didn't notice it.
The horse literally ran right up and over top of us.
So, not really a fight there, just a quick rundown of the bandits. Okay, so I'm gonna head back up to Suno and see if we can turn in that quest, as well as sell some of these bandits off, or these deserters off to the slave trade. Into the tavern we go, or on our way to the tavern we go, because we just got jumped. Look at that. Just pulls out the shield in time. Try to use the space to keep them from getting a good shot in on me here. If I can get hits from one side and Matheld can keep their attention from the other, try to stop both of us. You're messing with two Warmaids at the same time, buddy. care if there's 12. Okay, 12 would be too many. Nice. That was 3, not 12. So easy to deal with. Bandits killed by Hanakalia. We get 150 bucks for it. If you lose, you don't really lose anything. I don't think you lose any cash or anything. It's just a missed opportunity. And back into the tavern we go. We're looking for our prisoner management dude. There he is. Sada the slaver. There's another 39.68. So much good coin we're collecting there. So our opinion right now in this town is 0 with the populace. They're totally indifferent towards us. And then we turn in the quest. So this is got 1,000 dinar. Relationship with Suno's improved. We gained 2 renown. And apparently Clethy got some experience. Cool. Doesn't have any more quests for us, so off we go. And we're now at +2 with our relation with the town. So it's a very slow grind to get yourself in actually good standing with the city that you don't have any ownership of. So heading down to find ourselves some more forest bandits, and we end up coming across a few too many for us to handle at one time. Gonna be strategically taking an exit out of this area. There's like 200 and whatever of them there, and if we fight the one in the front, if he's close enough to the guy behind, that'll bring in the next one, and it can daisy chain into a battle that we don't want to mess with a few hundred of them at once. Over near Chide, we find ourselves snagging one of them that is out by himself. We got a 77 versus 42, another good, hopefully a good solid textbook style here in this particular match. I'm gonna show you one more of these fights, and then I think we'll probably skip the bulk of the rest of the fighting the forest dudes for cash scenario. So bring the Warmaids back in here. Archers nicely lined up. Look at that. They are a massive block. Well, not a massive. An effective block of archers there. We're going to spend some time with these forest bandits because they are all on foot, lining up things effectively. Get the horse archers and the cavalry into their positions. Horse archers are quite effective. In fact, there are H4s and H5s in this batch, and they're very effective at taking care of infantry on foot, especially infantry on foot that are not heavily shielded. This is really, to me, the one of the funnest ways to fight these battles. Lining up your troops, using them as the commanding your troops effectively, to me is a great lot of fun. Pull off the charge here. Here we go. Bam! Jousting for the win. And it starts it out with a good club and gets their attention. This is a terrible one though. Yeah, totally missed. Because I went to the left, I knew my prisoner dudes. Manhunters. The Manhunter crew was way. I positioned them intentionally out on the right flank, and then I went to the left, and I just skimmed by the enemies. So a lot of them it'll catch their attention and draw them in the direction that you go. So they're like, haha, sweet target. And then you just keep riding past, and you've got probably at that point I had half of them turned towards me. Manhunters had their order to charge in, so they came and rolled in behind, reducing the amount of damage that we take and dramatically messing up their group. They just ball around them and end them pretty darn quick. Back up to 25 prisoners, a bit more training. Usually the Manhunters get a lot of the training in that sort of a fight, but they're also doing a lot of the work, getting a lot of the cash for us. So, let me explain. No, takes too long. Let me sum up. When you fight the bandits, you take to slaver and you get money. Lots of money. Then you do it again and you go talk to the slaver. And you get lots of money. And you do it again and you come back and you find a new slaver, Nasi, and you get lots of money. Unfortunately, these slaver guys seem to never run out of money because they keep giving me lots of money. Metal and I are having a trouble. We are carrying too much of this lots of money. I'm pretty sure now that the Nazi guy is now in debt to us by just providing him with a massive amount of slaves, and he's giving us a lots of money. And sometimes you have to move over to other cities, like Darim here, and then you're sad because you don't get lots of money because there's no slavers around. There's C4s that you can buy, but no slavers. I could have bought them. That was a lot of them. Greg, why didn't you buy them? It's because we're going upstairs to find the slaver that's... No slaver. How do I get lots of money? Well, I guess the idea is we're gonna have to leave Hidarim, and we're gonna have to keep a going. We're gonna go over to Revedin and see what we can get there. Looks like there's a tournament, but there's also a tavern. And in the tavern, there is a slaver named Alam, and he is going to give us a lots of money. That's over $20,000. Okay, so enough of that silly voice. I'm gonna have to do a bit of shopping with the money that we have. There's only actually 13,000 in current cash right now. The 21,000 was made over quite a course of time, with a bunch of different battles, and we basically had some opportunities to buy different things in the meantime. Another thing I want to get here is enough horses. These 3 will do, I think, for the... Where's enough of them? Do we have enough? That one's 13. Yeah. Spending quite a bit of coin. That's another 3,000 spent. But on horses, that'll be good enough, or good quality horses for the Warmaids. So we can go into the camp commands here and open up the management of inventory just like we do in the end of a mission. And there they are. A whole spew of upgrades for all of the crew. They've now got themselves an entirely new batch of moto transportation. So we've got all 7 of them now, I believe, on horseback. We're going to go ahead and make unnamed 3 batch to, from right now we've just got infantry, cavalry, archers, manhunters, horse archers, and we're going to make number 6 in the command in the map. Number 6 is going to be the Warmaids. So they are now back to how we had them originally. And fully mounted. I think we've got all of them mounted. We'll go ahead and put them all in there anyways. A bit of training needed for some of them. Well, I guess just Nadia. But I'll probably compile a little package and go through the update on all of the Warmaids at the last of the catch-up videos, so we know everything that's going on. But for now, Nadia has some skills earned. 13 in strength. Another point in shield, put her up to 100 in her one-handed, and a bit more in archery. So she's gaining, like most of them, gaining a decent amount of experience and getting a little more competent with their fighting skills. You see that in the tournaments a lot. We're down to 10,000 cash in Revedin, and I don't think we've ever gone to take care of that debt. Wonder when we get around to that. Okay, so we're heading up towards Kudun and found a bit these guys, the Tiga Bandits. And there's something different about this one. We're going to have to change things because all 4 of those groups you see there, they're all horse-mounted. They're all mounted units. It's fantastic. So the horse archers and the Warmaids set to follow me. No, you don't do it like that. You got to uncheck the ones that you don't want to change. And any changes you make affect all the ones you got highlighted at the time. So apparently I did that wrong. I told them to just hold position. I'm gonna get the Warmaids, I think, to follow me. That would be kind of the best way to do it, I think. Look at just the maul of dudes. The cavalry are on the right there on the white horses. I love how the Warmaids ride on their white horses. It's fantastic. Well, not these Warmaids, but the Sword Sisters. That's them. All white mounted horses. They're fantastic. Look at them. They're so amazing. The Warmaids following me and the horse archers following me. Those crew not having a clue what they're running into. Charge the manhunters and roll on by. There we go. Kill already from an H5. Snipe shot from a long range. Fantastic. And the knockout ball begins. Ow. Just shot me from point blank range. Me having a little duel here with just these two. Oh, come on. Get him. Oh, you're going to... We're going to have talks later after I knock you out. Nice. Don't think I got that one, did I? Yes. There we go, that finishes it. But I wanted you to see that we are now all mounted. It is fantastic. We got all our ladies in white and all our manhunters, well trained, 3 renowned for that, and a whole bunch of Taiga bandits, 25 of them as prisoners. It's fantastic. Looks like we've got a few more. We could add a few more manhunters to the crew, but I think we'll generally wait around to fill the ranks with better versions of our primary troops, the Sword Sisters. The flow of cash seems to be a never-ending thing here when you're running around beating things up. So we've got, we're leaving Revedin now, and all 77 of us charging over towards Darim. We got the opportunity here, now that I remembered, to actually go and pay off our debt. 11,760 finally paid off. Painful, but necessary, because look at our populace. They are opposed to us with a -10, and that's exclusively from shirking our debts. So the populace, they really mean the Merchants Guild. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Alright, so we're heading into Halmar. It's been 2 full days of travel and a bit of fights, mostly just looking around for a bandit that we had a mission to find, deserters or something. Haven't found them. Dropping off 3,120 worth of slavers here in Halmar. And then we're going to have a peek around and see how things have gone over the last couple days. Halmar is actually owned by the Serenids. Ichamar is owned by the Vegars. So and this is weird, that the Norse have a castle down in the desert. Weird, the Nords have a castle down in the desert. So the Khan there has gotten his butt kicked a little, losing some purple grounds. Darim has claimed a number of new castles, or a couple new castles. Yeah, the Sultan is doing well with adding Halmar in, Uxkarl being owned by the Rodux, as well as all their normal base stuff, except for Jamish Castle, which is owned by the Serenid Sultanate now. Don't think I noticed that one before. Praven is still Norse, so the Swadians are pretty thin on the ground, with only Suno and a few other castles sporadically spaced around there. Yeah. Let's see what else. That is funny though. Samara Castle, owned by the Nords. I don't understand. Who did that? Like, that was weird. The Vagars doing pretty good here. They are not. I don't think they and the Nords are gonna last long before they get into a serious beat fest there, because they're both growing rather substantially, and their border tension must be pretty intense right now. So it looks like we got about 3 or 4 castles that are owned by the Swadians. They have 17 centers, it says, 4 imprisoned lords, 17 lords. They are at war with the Khergits and the Nords. The Grand Principality at war with the Khergits and the Rodux. The Khergit at war with the Swadians, Vagars, and the Serenids. And the Nords, yeah, the Nords in only 1 battle, the Rodux in 1 battle, and the Serenid Sultanate in 1 battle. It's May 17th, so we got a few, about a week left to go before we hit the end of the catch-up time, where we're finally back at the same calendar time as it was when we ended off back in episode 16, when everything went to crap and we were trying Halmar and Nara and lost the save file. It was sad. I'm still annoyed with that, because that would have been really fun to get into those battles. I should not have stopped to try to test some things. I shouldn't have done that with an Iron Man mode type of game. Lesson learned, Drake, and now you're spending hours bringing everybody back up to speed, including yourself. So we're going to roll off over to Suno, and we'll cut back in a bit. Alright, so we are heading towards Suno, and we're going to have a few stops at a few spots on the way. Just have a peek at castles like the Sunuzgd Castle or whatever it is. Looking at how many troops they have garrisoned there, there's 1 lord with 40 and 197 in the garrison. Another castle up there, the Vingard, I think it's called Vingard Castle. Up by Uxkarl. Ooh, big Rodok army rolling on by. It's like they made themselves at home here. Looks like they have. There's 300 in Lord's men and 200 and some in the garrison. Vingard has 159, 160 group in there with a 64 rolling out. Just kind of taking a bruise to, you know, no nefarious plans at all. Just looking around to see who's riding for the Swadians and how many troops they have. 313 in Suno with a few beatdown groups, another 100 and some hanging out outside the doors. Little less than weak. They're certainly not easy prey at this point. Praven with 250 Nords. Alright, there's a peace treaty signed between the Khergit Khanate and the Swadians, so that'll help them out a little bit. They're down to 2 wars, I believe. Let's just see what's over in Taverin Castle. 170 fine fellows defending. And then I think this is the last castle that the Swadians hold as their own. Oh, soldiers have nothing to eat. We should stop and get some. Go talk to the lord here. Actually, we could buy supplies from him. Oh, looks like we can't because some of the peasants are a little uppity here. It's like they don't want to see us or something. Oh no, it's not peasants, it's bandits. Who has brought you on like this? This is evil. Ow, 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 get myself beat up. Get out, just hurt it. Ow. Oh, ow. Jeepers, it almost got us killed. Alright. One-handed weapon proficiency up to 126 or 166. Let's go buy some supplies. Oh, no, you can't eat velvet. It's soft, but it's not tasty. Harengoth Castle, what is its defenses? 121. That's a target we could actually hit and beat right now, I think. Okay, so we grabbed, there's about 400 dudes there in Suno. We grabbed food from Praven, we grabbed food from Suno. We're set again, the troops are happily fed. And let's see what else we can stir up for trouble and or profit. Looks like we have a couple Warmaids that can train. Odval, let's see what we can do for her. Point in strength. She needs a lot of stuff. I guess Power Strike, because she's really weak on that. She's one of our lower military leveled ones, as well as Emira, not particularly skilled. Didn't start out with a lot of points or a lot of military skills. She's got some draw and weapons mastery now, so she's alright. She's doing okay. She's making her way with the ladies. We have 3 grand in funds. It's May 20th. We got about 3 or 4 more days, I think, before we get back to about where we ended. Okay, so that's where we're going to put in a cut. May 20th, we got a few more days. The next episode's probably not going to be a full, 25-30 minute here, but that should get us up to the time we ended. So thank you so much for joining me, and as always, we'll see you in game.